Hello and welcome. As you probably guessed, I'm MotherAzure, but you can also call me Maria. I'm back again with another pick a card, and this one is going to be about your strengths and weaknesses. Every time I try to say weakness, I say witness. I don't know, but it's strengths and weaknesses. And at the end, I'm going to be getting another general message that you may need to hear, or just anything else that you need to know for whatever reason. Okay, I'm not going to be shuffling these on camera, so these are pre-picked, but the rest will be shuffled on camera, so you're going to be picking from each of these cards. Now please use your intuition. Don't just pick the one that has the imagery you like best, so you get like an accurate reading. Okay, so for pile 1 we have ceremony. For pile 2 we have dream, and for pile 3 we have untwist. Hello, pile 1 with ceremony. This is your reading. So I'm going to be putting this one away because this one's going to be more for the general message that you're going to be getting later. I'm going to be shuffling your tarot first and the rest of the cards. So with your permission to step into your energy, I'm going to start the reading. So this is going to be the tarot that I'm going to be using. This is the Forest of Enchantment tarot, and we're going to get one card for your strengths and the other for your weaknesses. We're going to go with weaknesses first because they just get the bad stuff, out of the way first. So you picked ceremony. This is a beautiful card. I don't know if I'm going to be interpreting it. If I feel like it's tying into the reading, then I may talk about it, but I didn't pick this just to interpret it. It was more for you to use your intuition, right? So this would be your weakness. Let's go with your strength. Let's see your strength. Ooh. 6 of Wands. And this deck is the 6 of Spells. So I'm going to put them right here. I'm pretty sure you can see them well, because if I start bringing it closer to the camera, it's going to take a long time. So I'm going to be shuffling first. I'm probably going to put like something in the bio so you can skip the shuffling if you want. But I'm going to shuffle first. So let's see. Weakness over here to the left. Oh my God. Hold on. Those are way too many cards. This one fell on the table. And I'm going to put it here for strength. I haven't seen that one. Now, this one fell on the floor and it flipped. And it's nothing will come of this situation. Now, I don't think this is for your strengths and weaknesses. It could be that this is a direct message about something in your life that you are worried about or have been questioning. And this is saying that nothing will come of the situation, meaning that nothing will happen regarding this. Your fears are not going to be coming true. Okay. So we got those two. Let me flip them. You got your commitment is being tested. That makes way too much sense with the Hierophant, because the Hierophant has a lot to do with commitment. So, and your strengths, your dreams need a practical plan. And just these two, I'm going to get these two. That was the Moonology Oracle. Now, this is the year 2. Yeah, the year 2 collection cards for Angelarium. Okay, I'm going to be getting one for each side again. So, what's pile 1's weakness? Just one. Let's chill for a second. They're excited. Or I just have dumb fingers, Okay. Strengths. Strengths. I mean, this is the weakness side. And then the strength over here. Angel of the Waning Moon. And for the strengths, you have Armaros, Angel of Undoing. Sidereal, Angel of Waning Moon. Armaros, Angel of Undoing. Okay. Hold on. So I'm pretty sure you can see all these well. These are the smaller ones, so I'm going to bring them closer to you so you can see these a little bit better. There you go. So weakness, strength. It's very interesting that it's coming through like that. Okay. So let's go to the weaknesses first, because people don't like to be criticized, so I feel like it's better if I talk about whatever is your weakness. Not criticizing in the sense of being judgmental. It's just that if me highlighting your weaknesses could feel like it's criticism. I'm just trying to bring it to your awareness. That's the point of the reading, okay? So weaknesses, you have the Hierophant. Your commitment is being tested for first quarter moon. And Sidereal, Angel of the Waning Moon. Now, I mentioned while I was shuffling, if you watch that part, the Hierophant has a lot to do with commitment. The Hierophant is literally, it's called the Pope in some tarot. So he is all about that, okay? And the fact that it's coming through with your commitment is being tested. I feel like something that is your weakness, this could also be a strength. So that's the thing. None of what I'm going to mention here is objectively good or bad. Okay, I want to make that clear. It's just something that this is most usually something that is to your detriment in some way, shape, or form. Okay, doesn't mean that this quality is inherently bad or unhelpful. Okay, just that right now it's not something that you have developed well, and it's more like the shadow side of whatever this is. Okay, so the first thing that popped up in my mind when I saw this Hierophant card is that you tend to be very stuck in your own ways. Now, the Hierophant, I think this is very highlighted with the fact that the Hierophant is, what's the word? It's the card related to the sign of Taurus. Taurus is a fixed sign, so very, don't move me, stubborn energy, okay? So I feel like one of your weaknesses is that you tend to be very dead set in your ways, and it's hard for you to see outside of what it is that you know, outside of your expertise, outside of what you think is the way to do things, okay? And that may get in the way of you being creative in general, but specifically thinking outside of the box when it comes to solving problems or just to approaching life in general. Is like you can't really see outside of, let's say, someone that you would consider, there are people that you consider creative, that they have these amazing ideas and you don't even know how they came up with it. I feel like you would consider yourself the opposite of it, or at least you struggle to do the same things as those people, okay? Now, the way this is coming up with your commitment is being tested, I feel like Taurus is also here in your reading, so I'm going to address that in a second. So that's highlighting the fact that I just said is not inherently bad. There are good aspects to this. With your commitment is being tested, one of the reasons that you get stuck like this could be because maybe you feel like if you get out of the way that you have done things in the past, or the way that people before you have told you things are supposed to be done, that either something bad is going to happen or you're going to get hurt. Specifically, I feel like this is more about you and the fact that you could be at risk if you take risks. Does that make any sort of sense? Or just that being outside of your comfort zone is uncomfortable. It's you don't like it. You tend to stay within the comfort zone. Going outside your comfort zone is uncomfortable for everyone. It's just that I feel like you tend to avoid it a lot more than, let's say, the common other people that you would consider not like this Hierophant, okay? And you might also feel like when you start something one way, you shouldn't change it at all until you get it done. So this could be an issue for you when it comes to creative projects or just work and anything you undertake. You probably have a clear plan before you even start doing it based on previous experience, and it's like you are not open to changing any of this. And if you have to change it because you absolutely have to, you really do hesitate and are uncomfortable by that idea. Another thing that I'm seeing here with Sidereal, I'm actually going to read like the back. These cards have like something written in the back, so I'm going to read it real quick. It says, as the earth tugs on the moon tugs back on the earth. For each force, another will always exist in perfect opposition. The lives of men and angels are similar. Though the power of one may be greater than the other, their existence reflects each other. So this card is talking about opposites. However, I feel like you tend to stay on one end. Like I just said, it's like you're kind of stuck there. But at the same time, you may have, how do I explain this? It's coming through like you try to stay on this path of the way you think things should be done or people have told you to be done. But sometimes you are so under pressure that you tend to just go to the other extreme like this. So it's kind of like, if you have any person that is a fixed sign in your life or has heavy fixed sign placements, you know exactly what I'm fucking talking about. It's like they keep trying, they keep doing it, and they're persisting, and then there's one point that they reach their breaking point. It's like, fuck it, I'm done, I'm doing this other thing. And they may do it, it may seem like they're doing so impulsively, they kind of are, but it's also at the same time, I feel like it's just that they just had enough. And I'm seeing this here. Now, again, that's not necessarily bad. However, sometimes you may do this. You make this decision on the other end of the spectrum, the complete opposite of this. And you don't think about the consequences of that. Now, many times it is not going to be bad for you. Sometimes these are harmless things. They're bringing it to the surface because you may do this with a more important matter later on, and it could be negative for you. That's not to say that it's going to happen, but this is just a warning, okay? Because remember, you are in charge of your own behavior, and you can change it. So I feel like they're just bringing it to your attention so you are aware. I mean, that's the whole point of this, but this specifically, it's not necessarily bad. It's just that they want, or that something bad is going to happen because of it. They're just warning you that it could, okay? And if in certain situations it could. Okay, so another thing here, which now getting weaknesses from the Hierophant for me is very difficult, because I feel like it's one of those cards that it's not that it's perfect. It's more like the character represented in the card is in some way, in a certain way, they're represented as perfect or as ideal or as above others, kind of like the High Priestess. Because a pope, popes are usually seen as, they are the highest member of the Catholic Church, right? So, but I feel like you may have this issue with perfectionism. And I already mentioned the fact that you may get stuck. But is this coming through, like, you have a lot of responsibility on your shoulders, or at least you feel like you do. Or it feels like a lot, and you feel like you can't fail. So you're constantly striving for perfectionism. But the thing with perfectionism is that, first of all, is not something that you can reach. Perfectionism is not something that is achievable for a human. We are inherently imperfect, okay? And we make mistakes, and that's completely okay. It's that perfectionism, you're doing it because you don't want to disappoint people around you. Again, that is not necessarily bad, but taken to the extreme that is in the way that is showing up here, it's like you have this very ingrained fear of disappointing, maybe specifically your elders, so your parents, your boss, whoever you consider someone that's above you. And you're also afraid of disappointing or not measuring up to what people below you in some way expect from you. So it's like people that are below you. When I'm saying below, I'm not meaning in status, I'm meaning people that look up to you, and then people you look up to, okay? So these people have expectations of you, and you don't want to disappoint them by not meeting their expectations, in the sense that of you no longer being someone they look up to, or of you not being a good role model. While for people that you look up to, it's like feeling you're afraid of disappointing them and showing them that you are not good enough, or they are not prepared to do whatever it is that they want you to do. Of course, this is coming from childhood, because what isn't coming from childhood? But that's how I'm seeing it here. And I feel I did say I'm not going to read this card, but it's very fitting with the ceremony card, because ceremonies are things that you do in a certain way, in certain steps, maybe and that maybe you repeat at several points in time. So it's like there's not a lot of room for you to move around, and it's maybe that's because it was placed on you like that. So like you have been subjected to a lot of limitations, and for such a long time that it has almost become a personality trait for you. Again, it's not necessarily bad. They're just showing it as a weakness because it stops you from thinking outside the box. And of course, if you are so worried about other people's expectations and views of you, you're going to be trying really hard to maintain this ideal image, and you're gonna burn out. Okay, but enough about that part. Let's look at your strengths. Now, there's definitely an interesting one. So your strengths. You are a very charismatic person. Like whether you see this or not, you're very charismatic. And I'm seeing here that there are people that look to you, and they admire you in some way. Now, this card, it almost feels patronizing if you really think about it, because this is a baby dragon or whatever. But these people around the baby dragon, they are very happy. So. And the dragon is also happy. Let's not confuse it. That's a baby dragon smiling right there. He's happy. I mean, come on, baby dragon. It's not a dragon. It's the what's the other one called? The one that has wings instead of front legs. I forgot. But my point is, you naturally are a very magnetic person, so you attract a lot of people into your life, which I feel like plays a role into all of this. You may be in the public eye in the sense that you are big on social media, or you are just someone that has a specific status in your job, and there are a lot of people that depend on you in some way, or you are very popular just because you're very nice or you're very smart or whatever. I'm seeing that smart thing here because with the oldest one. The oldest one is always very wise. There's even like an owl right here. And also you are so you persevere so hard that you end up accomplishing your goals no matter what. So it's like, remember what I said here, that you do it a certain way. Yeah, you may keep going even if it's not working. It's like eventually, let's say that there's a wall in front of you and you can't get around this wall because the wall is a problem, okay? You can't get around the wall. Maybe you can, but you don't think you can. So you keep just banging your head against the wall for a long time. Eventually you break the fucking wall. So eventually you get there. And that's actually admirable. You're very fucking strong, okay? I love how this is tying in together, because like, oh, they're saying that this is kind of a weakness. So they're saying like, okay, maybe if you thought a little bit more creatively, maybe you wouldn't have to break your head in like 7 pieces to get through the wall. But you know, strengths. And like I said, that's admirable. And I'm saying it myself, but I'm also saying it because of other people. So this is one of the reasons why people look to you in this sense, because they perceive you as someone very capable, someone who is successful, someone who this is like the 6 of Wands is like the popular person, okay? And when I say the popular person, I don't mean like the negative stereotypes of being popular. It's more like you're just well liked and looked up to by a lot of people, maybe almost everyone. That doesn't mean that there aren't people that are maybe jealous or maybe not like you, but like the majority of the public likes you, okay? Or whoever you have around you, right? And this full moon in Taurus, like I'm saying, so your dreams need a practical plan. So it's also like you're a hard worker. You work towards what it is that you want, in the best way that you know how to do it. You, like I said, I said this before, like I don't think you jump head first. You take your time to plan beforehand. You take your time to think about things before you do them, okay? Maybe that's why you really stick to the way you do it, because it's like, no, I thought about this. I analyzed it. I planned it. It's gonna go well. Sometimes that's not the case though, and you probably know that. So You may be very pretty too. I just want to say it, or handsome, or whatever you want to call it. Attractive. I'm going to read the back of this one. So this is Armaros, Angel of Undoing. This says, Armaros removed the monuments that bound their will to men. After seeing Barakiel fall, they no longer wanted to take the risk. Fuck. The risk part. Alright. After the disarmament, the Watchers imposed a curfew restricting anyone other than their brethren and offspring from moving freely after dark. The punishment for violating this law was so severe that few attempted it. Even as their grip on control tightened, their insecurity grew. Holy fuck. So even as their grip on control tightened, their insecurity grew. So you see how this shit, you saw me shuffle. So you see how this is tying in so well with what I just said. So like I said, you plan things, so like you think beforehand and you stick to one way of acting. This is about control. It's about perfectionism, but that's also control. So what they're saying here is like, even if you have all control, the more control you have and the more you keep going on this path, the more inadequate you actually feel. However, they're also saying that there is a strength here, and that's what I want to focus on, because that's that area. But I did want to mention that, okay? It's like you have discipline. I wouldn't be surprised if you have Saturn in your first house, if you're a Capricorn, or if you have big and strong placements in the houses ruled by Saturn. So if you have that, I'm not surprised at all. So you have the discipline and you make sacrifices. This is a lot of, even though the Hanged Man is not here, that's the energy that's coming through. So you make sacrifices. You sacrifice things to get to others. So it's like you are not afraid of putting in the work whatsoever. And that's what's helped you get this far. Because it's like, if I were to put any, if I were to use any word to describe you and whatever it is that you do or whatever, or maybe your all areas of life, or at least this is how people perceive you, because this is how I'm seeing you, it would be experts. So I wouldn't consider you a novice in many things, at least not in things that you work towards. You actually put in the time to study, to educate yourself in these things that you do. And you spend so much time working towards these things that it's very difficult for you to feel inexperienced in anything. Like, you got the oldest one here, even though this is like the weakness part, this is still you. These are both sides of you, okay? And the Hierophant is very very knowledgeable, so you have the knowledge. I would consider you an expert. I love that it's coming through, because this, just to say, if you have followed me for a bit, I didn't do my video last week because it was during my finals. In one of my classes, they were discussing problem solving. I am a psychology major, so that's why I talk about this. So there's this recorded phenomena. It's not a phenomena, really. It's just an observation that I've made. People who are experts in their field, they tend to be less creative than people who are either novices or just other people, because they're so knowledgeable in their field and they understand what it is that they do so thoroughly that it's difficult for them to see other ways, because it sounds absurd, but it's like, the more you know about something, the more difficult it is for you to think outside of that thing that you know. So your knowledge can get in the way of how you problem solve, and I'm gonna assume that this extends as well to other areas of life. And I feel like that's why you get stuck here. It's like, this is a good thing, but it's doing something. So I'm going to, this is a card that I was gonna use for you just as a general message. I think it's gonna tie into the reading, to be honest. I'm not sure. And I also have this. These are quotes that I put into pieces of paper because I wanted to. They're not even meant to be a deck. I just made them for myself, but I like to use them sometimes. So I want to get something for pile 1, please, because I think I already said everything. Also, if you have Taurus, if you actually have Taurus in your chart, again, wouldn't be surprised. how did that eclipse fuck you up? Let me know, because it fucked me up. I know for a fact I'm also a Taurus. Taurus rising. So this one is for you. So you have fuck. Oh my god. This is insane. Okay, so you got we don't make mistakes, just happy little accidents. This is by Bob Ross. And I had this symbol of Neptune on the top right there. I don't know why I put the symbol there. I don't even remember. I just gave it like an association in astrology for whatever reason. I'm not even an astrologer, but I did. So, I mean, did I not say that we make mistakes and that's okay? So, one of the things that you need to learn to allow yourself is to make mistakes. Like, you need to allow yourself to make mistakes, and to not always be perfect. And I'm gonna go ahead and say as well, with what came through here in the weakness area, that they want you to work on okay, getting out of your comfort zone, yes, but specifically into fields or things that you would consider to have no knowledge in, because I feel like you stay so safe in the areas that you're an expert, that you don't really, maybe that's why like people will consider you an expert, because in anything you do you're an expert, but in other areas of life you are a novice, and you don't really like that. You don't really like when you're bad at things. Okay, so I feel like jumping into something that you are not an expert in would be a good experience for you, to show you that you don't have to be an expert, that you can make mistakes, and not only can you learn more, you can think outside of the box, and maybe what you learn in this new area that you don't have a lot of knowledge in, will help you solve problems better and be more creative in different ways, or just in general it would be good for you to take up creative roles, because we're talking Bob Ross here. He was a great painter, so maybe taking up a creative hobby will be good for you to help you with this. Okay, so this is your other card, and you got baby steps, action, follow your intuition before it makes sense. They want you to slow down. I feel like if the reading has resonated this far, you're someone that maybe many people would describe as a workaholic, or you tend to go very fast because you have so many goals and things that you want to accomplish that you feel like you don't have enough time. Like, I'm literally seeing the fucking, like, what's it called, like the rabbit from Alice in Wonderland. It's like, I'm late. So that kind of stuff. You're giving me like big executive vibes. I'm not saying that you are. That's just the energy that you're giving me. Because like the stereotype of like an executive that's always running, like always busy, that's kind of how I'm seeing it for some reason. But with baby steps, not only do they want, when I say they, I'm talking about my spirit team, and all their spirits and whatever. This is the energy that's coming through, the message that's coming through with your energy. I already tapped into it. So you're not prone to rushing as it is, but this is more like in whatever it is that you do rush in the sense of, I need to get all this done because these are my responsibilities. They want you to take a step back. Now, you might not like to hear that, but well, fuck, they intervene for a second. They're like, take a vacation. I don't know if you can take a vacation. Like, if you can, don't do it. But they literally just, it's like, they interrupted my train of thought to say, take a vacation. Now, vacation doesn't have to be a month long. This could literally be taking a weekend off work and doing anything other than work, or just taking a weekend to just be at home and not do anything, just not do anything at all. Maybe you want to go to the beach, maybe you want to go to a museum, just do something out of your routine, and it's really going to help you. That was like a complete interference right there. Holy fuck. So that was very important, or else they wouldn't have done that. So anything else from this card? Because I feel like this card could have so much more to say. I'm hearing the song from, it's a Marina and the Diamonds. Yes. So it's called Lies. I know that song. If you're having issues in a relationship, that's being acknowledged in some way. But it could also simply be talking about, because now that I'm remembering the song, it's like someone striving for another person's attention and love, and they it's like they know they're not going to get it. And I feel like this ties into your fear of not meeting other people's expectations, because like I said, I feel like you, at the end of the day, you feel very inadequate, because even despite everything that you do, you still feel like you're not good enough in some way, or like you still feel like you have a long way to go. Now, we all have a long way to go in many ways. There's always room for improvement, but it doesn't mean that you are not enough as you are, or that you need to be at a certain stage before you're worthy of love, of adoration, or of like human stuff. Does that make sense? It's almost like a robot. You're expected to be a certain way, and you run after that, but you forget that you are a human with human needs. I'm not gonna lie, this reminded me of a book that I read. If you have read spicy books, this book is called By a Thread. Your energy, at least in this reading, the way that this is coming through, it's reminding me of the main male protagonist of that book. If you have read it, you know what I'm talking about. I don't know why that's coming through like that. I'm not calling you a man. You don't have to be a man. Or I'm not calling you like the big fucking asshole that the dude was in that in that book. But like his energy of, I don't like doing what I'm not good at, and of control. That's how it's coming up here. So I guess that if there's any advice here, it would be to consider that even though your knowledge and your past experience and your expertise are very good things, sometimes they can be detrimental for you, because they stop you not only from being more creative and spontaneous in your life, they also can literally exhaust you, like work you to the bone, okay? Because you keep going and going. So, take a step back, take a breather, and consider taking up something creative that is not gonna feel like work to you, something that you're going to enjoy, to unwind, okay? And again, remember that these strengths and weaknesses, your weaknesses can always be developed, and I'm not telling you to work. No. I'm telling you that this doesn't have to be 100% bad. It's not something that's going to be a weakness forever. This is something that once you become aware of it, like right now, you can work towards just working on it, in the sense that if you feel like it's actually being detrimental for you, and you can recognize that during this reading, you can take steps to stop that from happening, or at least prevent that from happening in the future. Again, but just remember that none of these are objectively good or bad. It's just this energy is being more detrimental to you right now, while this energy, it's like the energy that you are the strongest at. So you're very strong in this area, but it's also affecting you negatively here, because it's not well developed, it's not in check, but overall, that's all I have for you. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe if you feel called to, because I do put out new videos every Thursday at 12 p.m. EST, and occasionally on Sundays. I have to get on the train of doing it again, because I've gotten off the wagon. Also, go ahead and follow me on Instagram if you want. I do all my updates about the channel over there, and I also post readings occasionally. I've forgotten about it. I have to keep doing it. If you want to buy me a coffee, I have my Venmo and my Cash App in the description down below. It is never expected, but it is always very appreciated. I wish the best of luck on your journey, and much, much love to you. Bye-bye. Hello for pile 2 with the dream card that is your reading. Now I'm going to put this one away. This is going to be a general advice at the end. So I'm simply going to leave this one here. I don't plan on interpreting this card. This was just for you to pick your pile, but I'm just still going to leave it here. So with your permission, I'm going to start the reading. I will have timestamp in the description if you want to to skip by shuffling, because I'm going to be shuffling this on camera. We're going to do, one side is going to be weaknesses and the other side is going to be your strengths. We're going to get through the weaknesses first, because I tend to be the most uncomfortable. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to shuffle all the cards now. So please, the weakness, one card for weaknesses. Oh, there we go, for pile 2. And how about the strengths for pile 2? Right, that's fantastic. So we have your weaknesses, a 8 of challenges, and there was some water there. And your strength is the 4 of boons, which is the this is the 8 of swords and the 4 of pentacles. I'm gonna get the other cards before I get into that. So weaknesses, and so weakness. Oh, there we go. Weakness and strength. So weakness, you got is time to release negativity, full moon in Scorpio. Strength, show the world the real you, full moon in Aquarius. And finally, I'm gonna get some of these. This is the Moonology Oracle. This is the Forest of Enchantment Tarot, and this is the Year 2 collection cards of the Angelarium. So let's get strengths. There we go. And weakness, and this is strength. I don't know how I knew that card was gonna come up. So when I put this deck over here to use it for the reading, I had a feeling that this card is Raphael, Angel of Song. I'm gonna bring this one closer because they're the smaller cards so you can see them properly. I had a feeling that this card was gonna come up for some group, and you are it. So, and this one for the weakness, you got Tamiel, Angel of the Unseen. So these are the 2 Angelarium cards for you. They're gorgeous. That's mainly why I bring them closer to you. They're just gorgeous cards, even they're just so fucking tiny. They're not meant to be used in like divination. I just use them because I want to. So let's get into the weaknesses first, and then we'll get into the strength and then the rest of it. Okay. So the 8 of Swords, it's similar to pile 1 in the sense that you're prone to getting stuck where you are. But this being the swords, this is very much telling me you tend to get stuck in one place because of your fear, your anxiety. So it's like, it's very easy for you to be overtaken by your negative thoughts. And right now, as I'm doing your reading, I'm feeling a little bit lightheaded. So you may have literally an anxiety disorder, but maybe you get very anxious. I'm hearing performance anxiety. Now, this may be because I have this one right here, but I have to mention it because I had the feeling this was going to come up. You may be someone that's interested in singing. You may have a very pretty voice. Maybe you actually sing at times when you consider it a hobby. But I feel like if this is the case, only take this if it resonates, you get like performance anxiety. So you kind of get frozen up before your performances, or you avoid performing altogether because you get so anxious. Okay. I just wanted to say it because it's coming up like that, and I want to mention it because I know that it's gonna resonate with someone. If not singing, it could be literally just speaking up. So speaking up could be something very challenging for you, and you may be like, you could be the type of person that people hear you talk and then they go, oh shit, I thought you didn't talk, which is so fucking rude, by the way. People shouldn't be saying that shit. But it's like, that's the type of energy that you go. So you're so quiet that maybe people don't even realize that you're in the room. And also people may feel like they can push you around because you have a hard time speaking up for yourself. Now take that as it resonates, because that just came through. It's not even like, it's only mildly related to the card that I have here. It's how it's coming through to me intuitively. So regardless of what it is that you have issues with, it's just that you tend to get stuck because of your thoughts specifically. Now I'm not saying that your thoughts are harmless, because this card, it's like she is hurt by the thorns. So this is something that is genuinely distressing for you. So I'm not gonna blame you for it. I feel like people could have blamed you in the past for the way that you are, and be like, yeah, just get over it. Like you know, like you have to. I'm hearing it in Spanish because it's something that's been told to me in Spanish, but it's like they want you to, it's like they're saying that you're not trying hard enough. Like you should try a little bit harder, you know, try harder too. But like that's not how it works. This is very distressing for you and very uncomfortable. The reason this is coming through as a weakness though is because it is something that what's the word I'm looking for? It's fuck. Debilitating. Fucking got it. Debilitating. I just lose. Sorry about that. I hit the fucking mic. I got too excited that I found the word. So this is something that you find debilitating on the daily. And it is a weakness in that sense, but the reason it's coming up through here is because it's stopping you from something. I said this in the beginning, and every time I say this, they make me eat my words, okay? Because I was saying, oh, I'm not gonna interpret this card, I just put it there so you could pick it. Nah. So this getting in the way of your dreams, of what it is that you want to do, because you feel you are so debilitated by these things that it's like your fear and that anxiety and that nervousness is so great that it physically stops you, okay? Because I want to remind you, like in the original tarot, if you look at the 8 of Swords, the person is tied, like there's a rope around this person. They have a blindfold on. The swords are around them. The swords are not preventing them from moving, but they're still tied up, you know? So this is affecting you physically in like a very literal way. This is significantly affecting you, okay? And it's only coming like that as a weakness because it's getting in the way of these dreams. Now, the other thing that I'm seeing with Scorpio here, now, this is easy for me to deduct just from this because I'm a psychology major, but this based off trauma. So I feel like I said, people may have blamed you for this, may have shamed you for it. However, this is a result of something that happened earlier in your life. That's the case for literally almost all of us. So don't feel like you're alone in this. You're not. Where you were put into some type of situation where there was an audience or someone that you were very threatened by in some way, and you were forced to do something, or had just, if not forced, you just had to do something, and it was very uncomfortable for you, either because you received negative feedback, or because the response that you got simply was not the one that you expected, and you felt embarrassed, and you felt small. I'm hearing small. It's like you felt very small in this situation. Because Scorpio, ruled by Pluto, it's a planet that I'm pretty sure is associated with like the darker aspects of life, and sometimes it has to do with trauma, and psychology. So, it's this one event. It's like it's holding you back. It is a weakness because I feel, you know how people say like, oh, like this made you stronger. No, it didn't make you fucking stronger. It debilitated you. It made you feel weak. It literally intervenes with your life. You make yourself strong. In fact, it's amazing that you're even here. Like, it's not even your fault that this is happening. You're caught up in the thorns. It's completely understandable. And I want you to I don't want you to feel judged here, because I'm saying it's a weakness because that's the theme of the reading, but it's not. I'm not saying that you're weak for it. It's showing up as a problem, okay? And it's showing up as something that, being a weakness, that's the thing. If it's coming up as a weakness, it's something that can be resolved. Now, with Tamiel, Angel of the Unseen, this is way too fucking long. It's gonna take a long time for me to read. So, and I tend to get stuck when I'm reading for whatever fucking reason. God knows why. But, with the Angel of the Unseen, like, I forgot that fucking card was there when I was talking about people not even realizing that you're there. You feel invisible. And, the reason it's coming up in the weaknesses part is because not only do you feel invisible, you could make an effort to make yourself invisible and to take up as little space as possible. You learned to be like this. Again, it's not your fault. I'm not blaming you. I feel the need to keep saying that in your pile, so I feel like people blame you for this. or else I wouldn't feel the need to keep saying it every time I say something about this. But I'm reassuring you, okay? I just want you to be reassured. And the reason this is detrimental for you is like, despite all of this, you still have dreams, you still have aspirations. But the thing is that to reach these dreams and for these aspirations, it's like you need to be visible. You need to be seen for this to work out, especially if you are someone that, like I said before, you are creative in some way, you want to sing, but you have to be seen in order to be recognized for your talent. So if you have a dream, let's say, of becoming a singer, a famous singer, or I don't know, whatever your aspiration is with this, you have to be seen by other people. You have to have people listen to you so they can recognize that you're a good singer. Does that make sense? So I guess that's the thing here. So because this is, for me, this is coming through like it's based on trauma and things from your past. This is something that you may not be able to resolve on your own. However, if this is indeed a performance anxiety type of thing, social phobia or something like that, the treatment for this, now I don't want to encourage you to do this treatment on your own if you're not sure. But the thing that solves this is exposure. Now that sounds terrifying. I know, I've been there. But the way for you to get rid of this excessive anxiety is actually to move towards what it is that's making you anxious and afraid. So if it's performance anxiety, you're gonna have to put yourself in situations where you feel like you're gonna be performing, where you're gonna be evaluated, and over time it's gonna desensitize you to this, and you're gonna stop feeling anxious. Again, don't do this if you don't feel like you can. If you have the opportunity to do this with a professional, do it. If you don't, maybe a trusted person to be there with you, to be like an anchor for you while you're doing this, okay? But that's one of the things that's coming through here. So now I want to get away from that. I'm gonna get into your strengths. I mean, this one is clear with the I love this. It says the ecstasies above with thy burning measure suit, thy grief, thy joy, thy hate, thy love, with the fervor of thy lute. It's a fucking, apparently it's a song. I don't know. So you have a beautiful voice, and I don't mean it, maybe like not even when it comes to singing. This could be playing an instrument, okay? This could also be speaking. So maybe you have been told in the past, given opportunities to do public speaking, but you have rejected those opportunities, even though that's something you would like to do, right? It's like this is something you could see yourself doing if you weren't so afflicted by these thoughts, okay? And that difficulty getting, maybe you even like fumble with your words like me. Now I don't do it exactly because I'm anxious. I just speak too fucking quick for my mouth to follow suit. Think too quick, speak at inhuman speeds. But you may have just a nice voice. For some of you, I'm hearing like it could be a podcast that you want to do, but you don't feel like you are capable of doing it. Whatever it is, your voice is very important. And with the show the world the real you, and the full moon in Aquarius is like, the reason it's so important for you to share your voice, to make yourself visible and audible, is that there's something valuable there. So whatever it is that you can share with the world is valuable, okay? That I want you to understand that, because maybe when you felt small, you didn't feel like you mattered at all, and that's completely not the case. You matter a lot, and you could make a difference in people's lives, okay? You could just even through creating something beautiful, whatever this is for you. Now, as a strength, the fact that this is here, I feel like despite everything, you are someone, how do I even say this? It's like you are very you. There's something about you that stands out stands out from the rest, that is eye-catching in some way, or I don't want to say it's strange, because I don't feel like it's strange precisely, but just you may do something or look in a way that is out of the norm for where you live or whatever it is that you are. And I feel like that draws more attention to yourself, and then it further fuels your anxiety. But it's like you are very authentically yourself, despite everything else. And that is an amazing strength, because to be honest, there are not many people out there being who they truly are. And again, the only way that I feel like you are not who you truly are is the fact that you have this difficulty that's come through here. However, now the Four of Pentacles, it's an interesting card to get as a strength, because it's not usually a card that I think of as a strength in any way, to be completely honest. However, the fact that this is here, you're very protective. Now, I'm saying that as a strength, though, because not only are you able to keep yourself out of danger, you are very protective of people around you. So people feel very safe with you because you are so protective of them. Like, they know you wouldn't allow anything bad to happen to them. You may even have, you don't have to have children, just younger people in general, maybe children specifically, like children that are not yours. But people that you take care of, maybe on the daily. I'm also seeing like older people, like the elderly. You could work at one of those places. And they just, you are safe. Like, this is so interesting. And this may hurt a little bit, it may make you cry a little bit. It's not bad. It's just that it's very sentimental. And the first time I heard it, I fucking cried. So I feel like the version of yourself you are right now, it's a version of you that a younger version of yourself, maybe in your childhood, would have loved. So you kind of have become the type of person you needed back then. Whatever that means to you, take it as it resonates. So I feel like they're highlighting your growth. The fact that you feel stuck, but you still have grown a lot in this sense. Now, another strength of yours. Let's see here. I feel like with the Four of Pentacles, this is gonna sound interesting. So remember how I said that people may feel like they can push you around or work all over you because you have difficulty speaking up? Yeah, I feel like that's just a perception. Like, I don't feel like that's true. If people try to push you around too much, actually you may allow it a little bit in the beginning. Be like, okay, that's fine, I'm gonna let it slide, you know, I'm not gonna say anything about it. But when the time comes and you kind of reach a point where you're like, okay, this is too much already, I feel like you still have the ability to put your foot down and set a boundary. It's like, and also you're not afraid of being alone. Now, the reason this is coming through as a strength is that you have, like, you are willing to be on your own, if that means taking toxic people away from your life, you know, getting people that are toxic to you completely out of your environment. And even though there are ways that this could be argued against, that is not good, actually, I feel like it's good in the sense that you have curated the circle of people around you, and what you are left with are people that really support you. And if you aren't there yet, there are going to be people coming into your life that will only, like, they will be good for you. Okay, these are people that are good for you because you have curated the people around you so amazingly. Again, I said this in pile 1, and I want to mention it again. None of what I mentioned here is inherently good or bad. It's just coming through as something that's more detrimental for you right now, and something that's just better, that you are stronger at right now. And the things that come up as weaknesses, again, they can always be modified and worked on to make them, you know, turn this weakness into a strength. Okay, so this card is going to be extra advice that they may have for you. I'm going to get one of these as well. These are quotes. I just wrote them here, just random fucking quotes that I just like. And I'm gonna see if they have another message for you. Also, with the Four of Pentacles, I feel like you have been able to, it's like you can create things for yourself. Now, let me explain for a second what I mean by that. So because you may feel kind of paralyzed around other people, you have built things up on your own because you don't feel like you can rely on other people, either because you are afraid or you just don't trust them, whatever the reason may be. Which again, it is not necessarily a good thing. It's also not a bad thing. But it's like you have been able to build things from scratch, basically. I don't know why that's coming through like that with the Four of Pentacles, but that's how I'm seeing it. It's like whatever it is that you have, I feel like you have created it in one way, in some way, shape, or form. So let me just get one of these for you. Holy shit, it's hot in here. Okay. Let's see. Come on, let's get one for pile 2. That is too much, so I'm just gonna take this one. Those were too many cards. I'm not gonna take all of them. So you got, there is a reason why all things are as they are. Okay. So there's a symbol of Venus up here, which I think ties in with the song thing and the dream thing and what I was mentioning, because Venus is a planet that has to do with all things beauty, but also art. So I really feel like this is my artist pile right here. So the reason this is coming through here is like, I feel like with this anxiety, there's a fear of the unknown. There is a fear of what's going to happen tomorrow, of what could happen if you get into these situations that make you anxious. And you tend to go to like the worst case scenario. But this is kind of highlighting, in my opinion, the fact that I feel like not only of fate, things, when I say fate, I mean things that we can't control, things that will happen regardless. I'm not someone that's gonna tell you that what happened to you for a reason, in the sense that sometimes people say that and it's like, okay, but if that hadn't happened, you wouldn't be the person you are right now, which is true, but it doesn't mean that what happened to you was good or that it was fair. Okay. It happened, and the thing with that is that it's unfortunate that it happened. It's not fair. It wasn't good. It shouldn't be justified. However, it already happened. Okay. So you can either stay here with this. You can let it keep controlling your life from the shadows, or you can take the steps to move away from it and to grow from it, which you have already done a lot of that. It's just this one area that I feel is very, very difficult for you. And that's okay. We all struggle with something, okay? But the reason, there is a reason why all things are as they are. They're also telling you in a way, I think, to wait and take it slow. It may be very maddening to be in this energy for so long, and you're like, when is it gonna end? When am I? Maybe you have tried to get out of your comfort zone before, and you feel like it's not gonna work because you have tried so many times. Well, maybe if you tried 48 times and it didn't work, maybe the 49th will work. Maybe in the 50th time you will fall back, but then in the 51st you will do it again. So that's the thing. It's like this is a process. So they want you to take it one day at a time as much as you can. Okay. So let me get into the other cards. So you got empathetic starseed, energetics. So I can't fucking say that word, bro. Absorbing what's not yours. I'll just put it in the Jesus Christ. Okay, so that card. Empathetic starseed. I feel like with this card being here, remember how I said that you have curated your circles in your life? If you have not done that, this is your sign to do so. And to be careful with the type of people you surround yourself with, because there are people that trigger you. And now here's the thing. Some people will trigger you, and it doesn't mean that you have to get them out of your life. There are people that, like, I feel like the people that you should keep in your life are the people that do trigger you, but that you feel safe being triggered by. So someone you know that you can say, hey, this is triggering me. And they will help you, okay? They will not continue to do so. So someone who is supportive of you, and that knows to support you when you need help and when you are struggling in this situation, okay? So, but this is also, again, this is not good or bad, but if I'm seeing this card, even though it's an advice, as a strength, you can connect with people very well. So if you do anything artistic, like I said, singing or something like that, do it about your struggles. Now, I feel like the reason this is coming through like this is because people will relate to you. And if your dream is to be in the public eye in some way, regardless of anxieties and all of that, this is gonna be a great way to do so, because you're gonna be speaking and mentioning things that people struggle with, because this is incredibly common, actually. Like, the performance anxieties and social anxieties and stuff like that, they're very, very fucking common, okay? So they're gonna relate to it, and I feel like writing about it, or singing about it, or just writing a piece about it, or just anything about it is gonna feel very liberating for you, and it's gonna help you connect with other people that are like you and know what it's like to struggle, okay? So, but also, like I said here, be careful who you surround yourself with, because there are people that could be further exacerbating this state that you're in because of the way they are, and they're not exactly supportive. So if they trigger you, they don't really apologize, they don't really pull back, they just keep fucking going, okay? So but I feel like self-hug, you have done great. I'm very proud of you, okay? So that's all I have for you. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe if you feel called to, because I do put out new videos every Thursday at 12 p.m. EST, and occasionally on Sundays. Also, go ahead and follow me on Instagram if you want. I do all of my updates about the channel over there, and I also put out readings, not videos, readings occasionally. Not really anymore. I have to get back on track. If you want to buy me a coffee, I have my Venmo and my Cash App in the description down below. It is never expected, but it is always very appreciated. I wish you the best of luck on your journey, and much, much love to you. Bye bye. Hello, baby, pile 3 with Untwisted is your reading. So I'm going to be putting this card away. We're gonna look at it at the end, because I meant it more so to be, what the fuck am I saying? So this card is going to be advice at the end. It's not necessarily related to your strengths or weaknesses, although it could be, but it's not going to tie into that. I'm going to make 2 sides here, one for weaknesses, one for strengths. And then we'll look at advice together. So with your permission, let's get into the reading. I'm going to be shuffling on camera. I will include a something in the description for you to skip the shuffling in this part if you want to, because I'm going to be shuffling tarot and 2 other oracles on camera here for each side. So let's see, what are the weaknesses of pile 3? Let's get 1 card for that, please, and thank you. Just 1, please. Those are too many. Okay. Weakness. Ooh, there we go. So this has suspension. This is the Hanged Man card. So what about the strengths? Oh, the Folly. This is the Tower. Huh. This is the. You actually have something in common with me, because when I decided to do this reading, the theme for the reading, I actually decided to ask the question for myself using the same tarot deck, because I wanted to see if it would work for this purpose. Sometimes tarot decks, they don't really work with what you want them to do, for what you want them for. So sometimes I change decks because the answer doesn't come easily, or it's hard for me to tap into what the answer would be with the imagery or whatever it is, right? So this is the card. This is the card that also came up for me and strength. So what up? Is your life chaos too? So let's see weakness. Prosperity lies ahead. How the fuck is that a weakness? Anyway, so let's get a strength. The answers you need are coming. Okay, and one more to get weaknesses and strengths. Oops. So let's do like this, because I honestly, yeah, I'm just gonna do that, to be honest. So we got, like, I didn't even fucking know which one was here. So this card, who had it? Was it Pile? It was Pile 1 who had this card, but it wasn't their strength. So this one came up as your weakness. So this is Armaros, Angel of Undoing. And the other card is Ananiel, Angel of Storms. So these are the only two I'm going to bring closer because they are so much smaller and I want you to look at the artwork. I'm pretty sure you can see the rest properly. So these two have something written in the back, but it's very fucking long. So I'm not... What the fuck was that? No. Probably someone with a car. Scared the fuck out of me, bro. Okay. So let's get into weaknesses first. So to get out of that out of the way. This is such an interesting card to have as weakness because prosperity lies ahead. What? How is that a weakness? Maybe it will become clear when I start. So let's just start with the tarot. So suspension, the Hanged Man as a weakness. I don't know why this is a common theme for all the piles today, but all the piles here have a weakness that is related to feeling stuck in some way, shape, or form. Like pile 1, if you go watch it because of this, like if you felt called to watch it, like you're gonna see it, they felt stuck. They were stuck because of the limits put on them, and also the fact that they got stuck in their ways, their ways of thinking, their ways of doing things. Pile 2 was more so stuck because of their thoughts, their fears, their anxieties. And for you, I feel like you feel stuck, but you genuinely feel like the fact that you are stuck is out of your control. Now, that may be true. However, the fact that this is coming through as a weakness is telling me that because you feel like your stuckness is out of your control, that you can't do anything about it to get out of it either. So you don't think that you can become unstuck. It's like you feel like your life is just a jumble of it's like, I'm hearing charades. That's not how charades work. What the fuck? It's like just a bunch of decisions that people around you make, that maybe God, the universe, anything like they make that you have no control over, and that you're just kind of at their mercy. It's like you don't feel like anything that you decide or want is gonna matter here. You're simply stuck because the circumstances made you stuck and you can't get out of there. Now, why is this a weakness? Because you actually do have control over certain things. It's so interesting because again, the pile 1, which is related to this in a way, is like they wanted to be in control. They felt so in control all the time that they almost felt inadequate. For you, it's like you don't feel like you have any control. There's learned helplessness here. Now, this is like a psychological concept, but it's basically can you quit it? So, like, for some reason, some neighbor, I don't fucking know where it is, they keep trying to open a door. I'm gonna be honest with you, it doesn't feel like they can open it. I'm gonna take it as an omen, almost, for your reading, because I feel like it ties in with the fact that you feel stuck. Like if the door doesn't open, can you really do anything about it? Maybe you have tried to do something about it before and it simply didn't work, so you just stopped. Now that ties in with the learned helplessness. I couldn't finish my thought. So learned helplessness is a concept in psychology. It was, I think, introduced by Martin Seligman. But the important thing here is that people become depressed and or anxious when they feel like they have no control over their lives. And most of the time they do have control, but there was some instance that made them feel like they actually had no control and they stopped trying. So to put this into perspective a little bit, they did I think it's an experiment with dogs or rats, I don't fucking know. But the thing is that they put them in boxes, right? So in one of the dogs or rats or whatever it was, they let the animal out to jump out of the box or whatever they were. They let them escape, right? Basically, when they realized that they could jump out or get out or whatever, right? Well, the other one, when this other animal tried to get out, it received a slight electric shock. If I'm not mistaken, that's how it was. And they administered until this animal stopped trying. So now when they did a round 2 of the experiment, they did the same thing, but they didn't plan on giving this other animal the electric shock at any point. Now, the one before that was allowed to get out, it got out again, but the one that received the shock didn't even try to get out because they got hurt once and it just assumed that it couldn't get out and it would be shocked with electricity if it tried, when in reality that wasn't the case. So the reason this is important to your reading is because that's what's coming through here as a weakness. Because again, it's not necessarily that it's good. I mean, it's not good, but what I'm saying is that it's not inherently bad. None of what I'm going to be saying here is inherently bad or good to have. It's just that's something that's detrimental for you right now. And the reason it's detrimental is because it's stopping you from going somewhere and doing something with your life, simply because you don't feel like you even have the ability to do it in the first place. Like you don't think that you have the control to do what it is that you want, because you were shocked in the past. Make sense? Okay, shit. Sorry about that. I keep getting interrupted in your reading. White sounds outside my door. So, fuck. Shit. I had to get out because I thought they were like knocking on my fucking window or something, but no, there's nobody there. It could be elsewhere, but why do I feel like it's a fucking omen for your reading? So, as I was saying, the learned helplessness thing, very important here because you do have control. And I feel like the way that I feel it's an omen, it's like, if you look at the suspension card, it's like this person is inside a, come on, focus. Focus, there we go. Inside a crystal and of some sort. So they're like sleeping, they're suspended inside the crystal. And I feel like they're trying to wake you up. Now, when I say that, I mean your spirit team, the universe, whatever the fuck you believe in. It doesn't really matter what it is that you believe in. It's just kind of like something is trying to wake you up. It could be people, it could be anything, whatever you want to believe. It's just that something is trying to get you out of here, because you're meant to be doing something else. Okay. Now it's like, get up, wake up. You're not stuck. Let's get out. So I think it's the process of this is unlearning the fact that you can't, unlearning the belief that you are inherently stuck. You can't do anything about your situation because you can. Now, this new moon in Taurus, like, for me, this as a weakness is a very strange card to get. Now, if I'm not looking at what this says and I just focus on what Taurus represents, maybe thinking about a more negative characteristic or shadow aspect of Taurus as a sign, for me, this is saying like, okay, so like, how do I explain this? So your mind may be a very active place, but in reality, in the physical world, I feel like you are not doing much at all. Because with a new moon, it being a new moon, it's about starting new things. Transformation, beginnings. It's beginnings. Okay. And seeing this in a more negative way, because it's coming through as a weakness, it's like, there's not much going on in the physical because of this feeling of helplessness. So it could be that you're in with that situation when you're in your house and you don't get out of your house. You barely get up from the couch. You like go outside just to do the basic stuff, maybe grocery shopping, maybe not even that. You could be excommunicated. Is that even a word in English? I don't know. Pardon my Spanish. It's like you could have stopped talking to friends, so you may have become really, really isolated, and there could be only a few key people in your life that keep in touch with you. Now this could be, what the fuck, bruh. I keep hearing, I'm very jumpy doing your reading. This is incredible. Like, it is driving me insane. But anyway, there could be, I got scared by a sound again. I'm very sensitive to sound during your reading. This didn't happen at all during the other two readings, okay? The few people in your life that keep in touch with you, one of them could be trying to literally get you out of this, okay? But this as undoing, this, even as their grip and control tightened, their insecurity grew. In a certain way, the fact that you don't feel like you have any control feels, this is a strange message to come through. It feels kind of liberating in a way, but at the same time it's distressing. So it's like you feel like, okay, I don't have control over anything. Well, I don't have to worry about fucking up. I don't know why I did that, but I don't know why I felt like maybe I wanted something else from that deck. I don't, but your reading is so weird. Like, this is the weirdest reading of all three. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just that I keep getting interrupted and I keep getting weird stuff. So it's like you may live your life in a way that's very, how do I say this? You do whatever you want. So there's a certain freedom here. There's a certain degree of freedom here at play. However, you have certain moments where you feel very desperate because you feel helpless. Like, you feel like you have no control. So it's like you feel so helpless that you decide, okay, well, fuck it. I'm not even gonna try. Okay? And the way it's coming through for me, when I say freedom, I did mention that it could be that you stay in your house and you don't leave your house, but at the same time, you can do many things that are instant gratification. So this could be food. This could be sex. Maybe you find hookups through the internet or whatever the fuck. Maybe you don't leave your house only, and maybe you only leave your house to go get a drink or something like that. So you're doing things that are instant gratification for you, that you don't have to think much about, but that you also are not doing responsibly. However, when you get these moments of despair, it's like you retract into kind of like a cocoon, and you just do not want to get out. And you realize, like, okay, it's like this feeling of lack of control is both liberating in that way, where you're like, okay, then I can do whatever I want, because at the end of the day, I have no control over anything. But then you get stuff like this where you feel very distressed by the fact that you don't have control over anything, because maybe there are things that you would want for your life, but then you realize like, no, you think like, oh, I have no control whatsoever. There is absolutely nothing that I can do about this, and you kind of fall into a depressive state. So that's kind of what I'm seeing in terms of weaknesses. So let's talk about your strengths. You got something very interesting here. I feel like with this is not news for you. It could be that you're spiritual and you receive downloads from spirit, God, whatever it is that you believe in. But it could also be that you just know that this is a thing. However, it's like there's this cognitive dissonance between, okay, I know this is a thing, but it's very uncomfortable and it's very distressing for me, so I'm simply going to ignore it, if that makes sense. But you know about everything that I've told you. And maybe the fact that I keep getting interrupted during your reading for apparently no fucking reason, is that maybe you don't want to hear this because you have been trying to escape it for a long time. And I don't blame you, okay? This is painful. But this coming through as a strength, the folly, which is the tower, this is such a great card to have as a strength, because I feel like so many people are very afraid of change, of upheaval, of doing, taking the tower down. But having this as a strength, for me, tells me that you are not, it's not that you're not afraid of sudden transformation, of doing what needs to be done, even if it's painful. It's that if you see that there's no way out, that there's nothing else to do, you will stop resisting. Which again, kind of ties into that learned helplessness, but at the same time it's a strength because you allow it to happen. You allow the tower to fall. You allow the crumble down. You don't hold on to the pieces of the wall. You don't hold on to the rocks. You just let it do what it needs to do. And then you pick up the pieces that you can pick up and rebuild again. So that is an amazing strength because you are allowing the transformation that you need. However, it's like you need to take a more active role into your life because this learned helplessness is stopping you from a lot of things. Now, having Ananiel, the Angel of Storms, I think it goes well with the Tower card. These are two destructive energies I would consider destructive. Now, when I say destructive, I don't mean that it's bad. Destruction is necessary for something else to be built. Okay, it's completely necessary. It's not bad at all. But it's like, I don't want to laugh about it, but it's almost ironic because you feel like you have absolutely no control, but like you could tear down every fucking thing in your life if you wanted to. Like it's almost like they're trying to show you like, look, you have a shit ton of control. I keep grabbing, like, is there something you want to say with this? Or, well, okay, that was aggressive for no reason. Take time to breathe out. Okay, so maybe you need a breather. And by breathe out, it doesn't mean like, even if you literally don't leave your house, the way this could be also referring to taking some time away for whatever it is that you do every day from your daily routine, but also, go out into nature, help you to ground yourself, okay? So this is why it could be coming through. This is an important message. You saw how that shit flew out completely. It was just yeeted almost off my table. So there is that right here. Take time to breathe out. Disseminating moon. There's also saying that it's coming through like something in your life is gonna end, and maybe that's why the tower is right here. So something in your life is gonna end quite soon, and maybe that's why the destruction is being highlighted here. But they want you to allow and aid in that destruction of whatever it is that is not supposed to be in your life. So take an active role in that. So let me look at more at the strengths here because I'm trying to get the strength and I fucking can't. So it's not that you don't have strengths. It's just that I keep getting derailed into something else. So there's something here with the full moon in Gemini that it's coming through. You are someone who is able to see different sides of things. So let's say that you are in an argument of some sort, or you're just learning about an issue. So you tend to see all sides, or at least a few of them. So you don't only consider your side, you consider all sides. You could, like, I'm not even joking, you could be a good psychologist. Like, I have to say it just came through like that. I feel like you have that energy about you. And like I said, I feel like you know already about what I told you. And that's maybe why I was getting so fucking interrupted, because you don't want to hear it and you know about it. So, other strengths right here. You, how do I say this? This is strength, even though it may sound a little bit negative at the beginning. So you kind of shock other people in your life, in the sense that you may almost push them towards a transformation. Now, that is not bad. It's just like it's not that you do anything specifically. It's like your presence, your energy in a way, it kind of influences change in their life. Now, I'm not saying that you have control over other people's lives, because you don't. It's more like there's something about you that inspires that in other people, and it's coming through as a strength for some reason, and I have to mention it because it's very interesting. So another thing I'm gonna say, like, you are very intelligent now, which is why it's interesting that you feel this helpless, because you are, like I said, you know about this. You are very smart, both with Gemini, that's ruled by Mercury, and the imagery of the birds here, which I associate with thoughts. So I feel like you are very quick-minded, very intelligent. And it's like, I feel like you don't give yourself enough credit for how capable and smart you are. You kind of sell yourself short. That's literally exactly how it's coming through. You sell yourself short. It's like you're much more capable than you think you are. You have more control than you think you do. You have more impact than you think you do. Okay, so I'm gonna get some advice for you here, and with this on twist here again, this learned helplessness could have been learned from childhood, as always. But on twist, it's like I see you working on this. Like all the piles got something similar to this. However, this card specifically, which I wasn't going to read initially, but they made it very clear in the other piles that this was important to all readings. It's like this pile has the biggest indicator that you are going to be getting past these weaknesses. And all it takes is for you to take that step towards letting that tower crumble, starting the process of making the tower fall. Okay, and the main way to get that tower to fall, and the tower, I want you to realize that it signifies this old belief system, old things that don't fit your life anymore, that you are not in suspension. Okay, so that's step one right there, and then the tower is gonna start shaking up and it's gonna fall. Okay, so, and I want to mention before I forget that, which just came to my attention. So Armaros, being the angel of undoing, is an angel that destroyed monuments. So literally like the tower, and they're in different positions. So this one is in weakness and this one is in strength. So they're saying like this destructive energy is good when put towards the correct things. So you may be focusing on certain things in your life that you are tearing down that are not the right things to tear down for you. That's a very interesting message, but I have to say it. So see what it is that you're destroying. Are you destroying yourself? Are you in some way destroying something that you have created with another person that really loves you? instead of destroying bad habits, destroying toxic relationships, that type of stuff. And when I say destroying, I don't mean hurting anyone. It means cutting that off. Okay. So let's get some advice here for you. I'm going to get your other card in a second once I get this. These are quotes that I put in like a deck thingy. And that's it. I'm going to get the one from the top because the one I saw, because 2 fell down. And I just need 1. So the secret of life, though, is to fall 7 times and to get up 8. This is from The Alchemist. I have Saturn right here. It just fits beautifully with those. The tower. So again, what I mentioned in the beginning, that you, in one way or another, for whatever reason, you learn that you are helpless or that you have no control. And you stop trying to get out of the box like the animal in the experiment. However, they're saying to try one more time. Try it. Maybe you got electrocuted the other 7 times, but who says it's going to happen again? Logically, it could, but it doesn't have to. There's a chance that it won't happen, So it's like they want you to take that risk to get up and, finish the cycle. They just said finish the cycle, okay? So you got Earth, learning how to be human in the world, but not of it. You don't feel like you fit in at all. You don't feel completely understood. So this card is saying, this is very fucking cliche, but I don't give a fuck. Maybe you would be happier if you weren't trying to fit in to a mold. And let me explain how that is relevant to your reading. I'm pretty sure that you know already, but with the theme in your reading, in the suspension, is like the mold that's there for you to fill. It's the mold of someone who is at the mercy of others and other people, other forces. And you don't, you fit the mold, but it doesn't mean that you have to be in the mold, You don't have to be there just because you fit it. So it's like, it's saying, what, are you happy being in this helpless position? I'm pretty sure the answer is no. So if you aren't happy with that, why stay there? Why continue to feel helpless if it's distressing and it's uncomfortable and it's not making you happy? So it's kind of like they're saying, I feel like they're bringing out the absurdity of it. Now, I'm not judging you. It's just, it is absurd though. So it's like, you feel distressed because you feel stuck, you feel trapped, you feel helpless, but then you continue to stay you continue to do the same things. You continue to allow yourself to be in this energy. You don't try to do something else. You don't try to get out. So that's why it's kind of absurd, because you would think that as a human, because we all do this, you would try to get away from things that make you uncomfortable, but you're staying where you're uncomfortable because you feel like if you get out of this uncomfortable mold, there's something worse that's going to be waiting for you at the other side, which is not the case. It could be the case. Like, I'm going to be honest, it could be the case, but it could also not be the case. So it's like all about recognizing that it could not be the case and then trying, okay? Because fall 7 times, get up 8. So it's like, don't give up. Don't give up. Keep trying. Because there's something knocking at your door, okay? And it's waiting for you. And there are things that you are meant to accomplish. You're very smart. You have this strength of tearing things down and not being afraid of that. So you could literally put this to good use in your own life, but also in the lives of other people. I feel like for some reason you could really do well sharing your things online, your experiences, because they're showing me, I don't know what he is. Is he a coach? I don't know. Someone I follow on TikTok, they're showing me this man. He has been through a lot. I think a lot of trauma, but now he's kind of like a coach to people, and he specifically, I think he talks most about, or at least I've seen him talk most about parents, like relationships with parents and children. I don't know why they're showing me this man. I don't even remember his name. But basically, for some of you, it could be the right thing to share. Start sharing your thoughts and your experiences online with others. Maybe through TikTok, because I do see him on TikTok, but not necessarily. I just want to say it because it's coming through. So yeah, I think that's it, right? Anything else? I keep trying to get more cards of this for you, so we're just gonna do it. I don't even know why, but let's do it. Why do I keep getting cards? This was meant to be just one for see? Another Gemini. Communication is key. Oh shit, they're highlighting what I just said about the social media. So there's your sign. Communication is key. You get 2 Geminis here. So that is very interesting. A lot of blue in your thing. But I feel like this is highlighting what I just said. So if that was the correct thing for you, if you felt like you resonated, take it, because it's very important. Like, I don't feel like they would be insisting on this if it wasn't important. So that's all I have for you. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe if you feel called to, because I do put out new videos every Thursday at 12 p.m. EST and occasionally on Sundays. Also, go ahead and follow me on Instagram if you want. I do all my updates about the channel over there, and I also post readings occasionally. Have to get on the wagon again. If you want to buy me a coffee, I have my Venmo and my Cash App in the description down below. It is never expected, but it's always very appreciated. I wish you the best of luck on your journey, and much, much love to you. Bye-bye.